Hey Dutch crew, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do some baking. Now anyone who watched my gravy and biscuit video would know that turned out an absolute disaster. So today we're going to try focaccia bread in the wood-fired oven. So come on, let's get started. First thing we need to do is 2 teaspoons of kosher salt into 2 cups of lukewarm water, and 8 grams, that's 2 teaspoons of instant yeast. Get that in. Whisk it together. Just going to wait for this yeast to activate. So to get our 2 cups of lukewarm water, I've added half a cup of boiling water and 1.5 cups of cold water, and that should give us lukewarm. In this bowl I've got 4 cups of strong bread flour. So all we're going to do is add our wet ingredients into the flour. Okay, I'm just going to take a spatula now, bring these ingredients in together. I'm going with the hands now, and just finely bring it together. This mixture is not at all sticky, so I've brought this dough together now. So the idea of this now is it goes and sits in the fridge for 18 to 24 hours. But to stop it getting that kind of crust on the outside, we're going to cover it in olive oil. Work it in, make sure it's all covered. So now it's covered in olive oil. All we need to do now is cover this, so I'm just going to take some cling film. You can use a damp tea towel. I'm just going cling film. So that's done. We'll get this in the fridge for 24 hours and we'll bring you back tomorrow. Our dough's had about 18 hours now in the fridge, and also we've had it out at room temperature for about 4 hours. So it's now time to get it out and get it onto our tray. Now this is a 9x13 tray. We've greased it with some olive oil, and all we're going to do is just pour this out. What we need to do now is just get those fingers in and push this dough out to the corners, making those characteristic dimples. We've got our dimples in, now we've got some fresh rosemary. I'm just going to sprinkle over the top. What we'll do again, just take the fingertips, push that rosemary in. Bit of sea salt over the top, and that's ready to go into the wood-fired oven. So while that bread was in the fridge last night, I got to thinking that I really need something to be able to test this bread with, so we've come up with this. We've got some feta cheese, we've got some mixed olives. Spread them around. Got some sun-dried tomatoes. Sprinkle them around as well. Push them in. two garlic cloves that we've just cut up into thin slivers here. That in. Mix them in, push them down. A couple of bits on there. We've got some Italian dried herbs. Along with some of that. Some dried chili flakes. A little kick in this. Sprinkle of pepper. A little bit of salt. And we've got about a quarter of a cup of olive oil. We're just going to pour over the top of that. Now that's going in the oven as well. Get the door on. Okay, so we've got our bread out of the oven. Just let that cool a little bit. We'll go into a bowl, we'll get it cut up, and then we'll get the cheese out. So let's have a look. Look at that. Nice crumbly. We'll get this served up onto our board now, and we'll have a dip with our cheese. We've got Dutch's homemade Focaccia bread. We've got feta cheese that's been in the oven with some olives, sun-dried tomatoes, bit of herbs, garlic, just with olive oil. So just take this bread, we'll have a dip in. The bread's light. This cheese, it's very nice. It's a little bit salty. Still going for it.